What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blues Garage _48. I'm going to be installing the transmission now. So transmission, drive shaft, all that good stuff. And I just installed the engine. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit with all the vacuum hoses and the boost lines and all that, yada, 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 but whatever. It's time for transmission install. So let's get to that, guys. All right, let's go. All right, guys, it's time for the transmission to go back into the car. So I'm going to take it out of the crate and dress it all up. But first, with the way they shipped it, it got a little damaged. A little bit here and a lot of bit here. So I'm gonna have to file this down. There's a big lip there, so I'm gonna have to file that down. But I'm gonna take it all out, put everything back on, and then put it onto my jack, and then just get started on that. So all right, so I actually got this really neat low profile transmission jack from Harbor Freight, and the thing raises up like a bunch and goes down pretty nicely. But I got the transmission ready, got the shifter bracket back on. Yes, I have the stock shifter, but with a Barton bracket, which is, in my opinion, it's okay. I got it all back together. If I don't like it, I'm probably gonna end up taking this transmission out like in another 6 months and replacing the clutch. But all right, I'm just gonna send it anyway. So I'm gonna send it like it is. I sanded down the sign like I said. Now I'm gonna put on the throwout bearing, and then I'll be right back. I remember in the instructions it actually says to keep this spacer on there, I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna have to go back to the directions and look one more time. All right, guys, I'll be right back. So what we're doing now is priming the slave cylinder. So you fill up this little cup with, I got synthetic Valvoline DOT3 and 4 brake fluid. I'm just gonna basically, you press down on the slave cylinder and you keep doing that until all the bubbles are gone. And like you see here, all the bubbles are gone. So I'm gonna put the cap back on right here, make sure nothing falls out, and then keep that spacer on there. So I'm putting it right on there, ready to go. So all right, everyone, the transmission is now fully installed. All the boards are, oh my God, the bolt. I'm having a stroke. I'm pretty sure I'm having a stroke, but all the bolts are torqued down to 35 foot-pounds. Even the two top ones that you have to use extensions and get around and all that fun stuff. But transmission is in. Those guys are in. I even torqued down my BMRK member to 85 foot-pounds, which, don't try to do that unless it's jacked up, or else you might snap some tools. Other than that, it's perfect. But I torqued down the transmission bracket to whatever it's supposed to be. I'll have the numbers probably here. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I torqued that down. I'll probably do it again. I actually don't think I torqued that down. So I got to torque that down, then do the drive shaft. So let me torque this down and then do the drive shaft real quick. All right, guys. So the big bolts are going to get torqued down to around 35 foot-pounds, or 45 foot-pounds. And then these three bolts here are torqued down to 75 foot-pounds. So that's what I did. So 45, 75. I tightened it down. And they didn't break, so I guess it's good enough, right? Next, I'm gonna put these 10mm nuts back in here to hold the shifter bracket on. And then the drive shaft will go all the way down. So let's get to that. So before I put those 10mm in, I actually put the shifting bracket back in, shifter bracket, because you can move it up and down if you still have the 10mm down there for that hanger off. So Make sure you put your shifter back in before you put the bracket back in, so you can actually do these 10mm bolts here, these 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got my shifter back, but make sure you do that first, this first, and then you can do those 2 under there. But also, I just want to point out something in my eyes that's hilarious, is the comparison between the old dry shaft and the new one. Like, it looks, just based on looks, it looks like the newer one is a lot heavier, but that, guys, this is like nothing. Like, I can lift this up just like that. But this one here this one takes up a lot of strength to lift this thing up. Oh. This thing is heavy. That thing is heavy. But the new one's like super light in comparison. In my eyes, it's like half the weight. But it probably is, honestly. But this thing is so much lighter. So we're gonna be putting this in. It's gonna be a lot easier going in than taking out that freaking 2-piece design that swirls and bends on you when you take it out. But I'm gonna put this guy in. It's rated for more horsepower, and throw that one in the garbage. So unless anyone wants it, might sell it for like 10 bucks. Scrap metal. But let me get to that now. All right, everyone. So underneath the car, these 4 get tightened down to 76 foot-pounds, but you're gonna need a 12mm 8-point socket. Don't make the mistake and read the 12 as a 1/2 inch, because you'll strip the bolt anyway. Go to the back, and then these are 5/16 Allen keys, so you're gonna need to tighten those up. I got a really long extension from Harbor Freight, and I'll have a picture here, but I tightened these down to 41 foot-pounds, but the socket head ones I just tightened down to my heart's content, 13mm, and that's about it. So don't mind the leaking there. I'm gonna fix that. I put a gasket on there, but I guess it's so uneven that it's slowly leaking. But it's not leaking a lot. But anyway, tighten that down. That's all set and ready to go. On to the next thing. And the next thing was the alternator. So I just hooked, oh my God. I don't know why I just said that, but I meant the starter. So the starter is now in. It's all wired back in here. I have the main wiring going up here, not touching any one of these pipes. I also got the down pipes back on. There's a cat in there, trust me. I mean, you know, catalytic converter, not a cat. It's in there. This is 50 state compliant, both of these. 50 states, all of them, every single one of them. Anyway, this is all back in. The exhaust is back on. Let me make it more straight. Exhaust is back on. Transmission's in. Everything under here is pretty good. I have to go get brake fluid and bleed the system. So my clutch works. And then I'm gonna have to bleed the whole brake system too. But yeah, now I'm gonna get it from the car, look at the top, and then figure out what I need to do up there. So let me get to that now. All right, so after a super long time, she's gonna be touching the ground now. I'm excited. That's not true no more. I can work on it real easily now. All right, guys. She's on the ground. You know what? I'm gonna wrap up that video over here. She's on the ground. Everything's put back together. She's on the ground. In next video, she gets a tune. So stay tuned. All right, guys, for the tune. Blues Garage _48.